Hello everyone. In this video, we will discuss about sample size calculation for estimation of mean. If single mean and standard deviation is reported, then how we'll calculate the sample size. So for that point of view, need to understand basic information of the sample size. So to calculate sample size requirement for estimating mean, if we have a quantitative variable in a study population, so we required some inputs like expected mean of the variable in the study group means x bar we need to find out from the literature review. Then expected standard deviation of the variable in group, which is yes, and then expected absolute allowable error in the mean, which is noted by D for 10% relative allowable error. That means 10% of x bar will be the absolute error. So next point, value of the normal deviate at considered level of confidence, like 5% level of confidence is noted by Z1 minus alpha by 2. So for that we can calculate sample size Z1 minus alpha by 2 whole square, means we can say Z square multiply S square and divided by D square. So this sample size formula is important to calculate the minimum sample size if mean and standard deviation is reported for related to your objectives. So now we have one example how to calculate the sample size. To estimate, for example, to estimate hemoglobin level among pregnant women of a community. If suppose we are going to collect the data from a particular community, and in that community hemoglobin level for pregnant women is reported, it was expected that the mean and standard deviation of hemoglobin in pregnant women from the considered community were about 10.3 is a mean and 2.3 is the standard deviation respectively. Then at 5% level of significance, alpha is denoted by 0.05 and relative allowable error is 10%. How many pregnant women from the community should be studied? This is our questions. Now we need to understand steps of calculation for minimum sample size. So calculation is here. First of all, we need to point out what are the givens in the question. So as we have seen in the questions, mean is given 10.3 and standard deviation is already given in question 2.3 and Z1 minus alpha by 2 and Z1. So 1 minus alpha by 2 means it's a two-sided test and 1 minus 0.052. So normal deviate value would be 1.96 if it is two-sided. Then D we can calculate relative allowable error. 10 means 10% of the reported mean. It would be 1.03. Then what is the required sample size? We need to write down the formula, sample size formula, as we are aware about this formula. So we just need to put the value in this formula 1.96 whole square multiply 2.3 standard deviation whole square divided by uh, allowable error 1.03 whole square. So we are getting sample size 19. So What is the meaning of 19? Is a total of at least 9 pregnant women need to be studied. Accordingly, we can round off, we can take the 20 pregnant women may be included in the study. So this is the basic information, basic steps for calculating of the minimum sample size if we have quantitative variable mean and standard deviation is reported. Thank you.